what do we mean by recovery? Maslow's hierarchy of needs is an especially useful framework to consider when thinking about what all people need for healthy development. People with IDD are no different. The focus tends to be primarily on physiological and safety needs. We have to work to rebuild a sense of safety after trauma in order to provide a foundation for meaningful relationships, self-esteem, and self-actualization. However, we can't stop at safety. It is important to also focus on how we can support adults with IDD developing loving relationships, building self-esteem, and helping them realize their potential. The ecological systems theory of development, which was conceptualized by Urie Bronfenbrenner, emphasizes that there are many societal and environmental factors that influence development. For the purpose of this training, the ecological model is helpful in thinking about three primary systems that we will be focusing on throughout this training: the person, the family, defined broadly, and service providers. We'll come back to this module throughout this training. A fourth framework that will serve as a foundation in our discussion is the risk and protective factors model. Risk and protective factors impact the trajectory of healthy development by creating disruptions and shifts over the lifespan. Risk and protective factors are not limited to individual behavior or access to health, but can include family, neighborhood, community, and social policy. Protective factors improve health and contribute to healthy development. Think of it like this brick wall. There are bricks that are a natural part of the wall, or that we can help people and families add to their wall that will strengthen it. Bricks like secure attachment, adaptive coping skills, social skills, family cohesion, self-efficacy, a healing and protective environment, social support, mentors, and a supportive community. Rain and water erodes the mortar and weakens the brick wall. These are risk factors. These diminish health and make it more difficult to reach one's full potential. The mortar is what strengthens the protective factors. For people with IDD, their circumstances too frequently increase their exposure to adverse events. Their disabilities affect their ability to self-soothe or participate actively in healing interventions. People with developmental disabilities are predisposed to emotional problems due to impaired resilience. They have fewer protective factors that would mitigate the effects of maltreatment, such as increased intelligence, self-efficacy, and social supports. Unfortunately, many with developmental disabilities have cognitive deficits, have impaired problem-solving ability, are often without adequate social supports, and have limited resources. Things like comorbidities, emotional problems, cognitive deficits, poverty, lack of social supports, societal attitudes about disability, and of course, traumatic experiences. Extending our metaphor, traumatic experiences may further weaken or break down protective factors. There is a misconception among providers that working with people with an IDD diagnosis who have experienced trauma is completely different from their non-disabled peers. This simply isn't true. Working with people with IDD is much more like working with typically developing people than it's different. Treatments have been adapted for people with IDD, and these adaptations are more similar than different. On the following screen, we'll complete an activity, making the connection. Why am I doing this work? This worksheet asks you to think about a person with IDD who has experienced trauma. Think about a person who connects you to this work. Perhaps this is a person in your classroom, on your clinic, or your niece or friend. Perhaps this person is the reason you started doing this work in the first place. Perhaps this person is the reason you want to know more about IDD and trauma. As we go through the content of the toolkit, I ask that you keep this person in your mind and think about how the information you are learning could apply to that person. If you can't identify a person to think about, you can choose one of the case vignettes in your participant manual to focus on.